That's too close. Today I went to Old Shasta. It's just west of Redding, like 15 minutes, really short drive. It's on the way to Whiskeytown Lake. Old Shasta is really cool. It's got a lot of things to do. If you're planning on going to Whiskeytown, I would definitely suggest give yourself an hour or two to explore Old Shasta. They've got a museum. The museum is what used to be the courthouse. They've got all sorts of artifacts and old weapons. I don't know, the weapons stand out in my mind. A lot of old guns and sabers and cannon, I think. So around back, there is still the gallows. There's also a lot of picnic tables here if you are coming out to the lake and you want to stop here in Old Shasta first, see the historical sites, have your lunch maybe. It's all shaded and there's a lot of grass. So it was a lot more muddy than I was expecting. There's a cool big barn in the back. There's an old like stage coach horse-drawn wagon thing that they've got outside that I was able to see. They've got a lot of old equipment here. There's also the old brewery, which is always, nice, good. Gotta love the beer. It's the Washington Brewery. It's a cool old brick building. It's kind of on the outskirts of the park. The bottom has an open iron wrought fence thing that you can look through and see. Basically, I guess it was the basement, but you can see up because the floorboards are gone, so you can see all the way up into it. Past the brewery is the Catholic cemetery for Shasta. It is up on the hill. I've never actually been able to see it. You can see it now because the car fire burned all the trees surrounding it that were blocking it from view. Well, the path to the Catholic cemetery is closed. Maybe next time. There's another cemetery. It's the Pioneer Union Cemetery. That one was open. I was able to walk around. Actually, in fact, during October, they have nighttime tours of that cemetery. It's just a historical tour that they do at night during October, but ghosts aren't real. There's a lot of cool like iron wrought fences around graves and groupings of graves. Some of them are super ornate. Some of them are not very ornate at all. So, back in the day, in the 1800s, Shasta burned down twice. 2 fires, less than a year. What did they do? They rebuilt in brick. I probably would have rebuilt in brick after the first fire, but yeah, so they rebuilt in brick, and you can see the ruins of these brick buildings are lining the highway, and that's one of the main things you'll notice if you drive by. But yeah, they've got them all reinforced. They've got a lot of historical signs telling visitors about the significance of the buildings and kind of telling the history of the place. There's a nice boardwalk out along the front that they've got. It's real nice to just stroll through and kind of feel connected to the history of the place. There's also a cool cave, kind of. It's like dug out of the hillside. It's where the butcher back in the day had his cold storage. It's gated off, but you can still peek in and see what it's like. It looks like it may have caved in a little bit at some point. There's also the old blacksmith shop down at the east end of town. It's got some cool old blacksmith equipment that they've got on display. And then there's the general merchandise store, the old general goods store. Oh, one of the coolest things is the Masonic Lodge. It is the first and oldest Masonic Lodge in California, right here in Old Shasta. Well, I hope you liked this video. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this. I think history's fun. I like history.